What is going on, guys? JFC here. Yesterday was one of the stupidest days of the FIFA market we've probably ever seen. We got that new patch a couple days ago, and what we didn't realize happened the first day was that some of the acceleration types like controlled and explosive actually got buffed, and they felt kind of like they're supposed to. Seems like it was broken from like the launch of the game. And what happened was every single controlled and explosive player on the market went up in price, and every single lengthy player pretty much crashed insanely hard. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I went and bought like a Socrates because I'm like, he was getting panic sold so hard for 283. This card was like 400k, I want to say, not too long ago, and he's even down a little bit more, and it's about the same as he's been. We're gonna talk about leaks if we got any. Friday's coming soon, new World Cup heroes, new Path to Glory team. Let's just get into it right now. First and foremost, let's look at some of these price differences because they are just ridiculous. Aloe Iran has actually dropped a little bit now. This card went from, where was he? He was about, I want to say like 600k, right? Ish. He was less than that, 580k yesterday. 580k up to 640, then went up to 700k. 700k, and now he's back down just a little bit again to 665. Why? Because, well, he's controlled. That's the only reason that he's gone up and down. The FIFA community reacted so hard to this. I actually can't believe how hard they reacted to this. It was just a free-for-all panic sell on every single lengthy player that people had in their teams. Like, it was ridiculous. This Ronaldo card dropped 400k, right? He was at 1.5, and he's now 1.1. He was a million coins at his lowest point. He literally only gets lengthy with one chemistry style, but because people just had this feeling that lengthy players, they just needed to panic sell. I don't know why, but they did. And boy, did they ever panic sell. Vinicius was up to like 120k earlier. He's already getting sold down more to 108,000. Why? He's explosive. People wanted to buy these cards up thinking that they were like the best cards in the game, I guess. Van Dijk dropped a ton in price. I don't know why. Like, Virgil van Dijk is going to be one of the best center backs in FIFA all year. Even the gold Van Dijk. And people just, for whatever reason, they just panic sold this card. I don't know why. Pappen, this card was like 120,000 in the peak panic buy because he can get explosive and he's uncontrolled, and like his base is controlled. Like, the panic buying and panic selling was just hilarious to see. Like, I could not believe what I was seeing. Where's gold Ronaldo? Gold Ronaldo's 160k, and he is literally at his minimum. 159k is his minimum. I mean, it's insane. And if you lost coins in this, I'm sorry. I mean, there's literally nothing that you could have done. There's nothing anybody could have done to see this coming. And I want you to know that, like, your lengthy players are still good. Like, today, let's look at my team here. I just got done using the Socrates card. I really wanted to try Socrates and Neymar, right? Eto's controlled, Socrates is lengthy, and Neymar's explosive. So I was like, okay, I want to try all these. Foden's explosive too. I was like, okay, I'm going to try all these and just see how they feel. And I definitely noticed a boost in the pace of Eto, Neymar, and Foden. Like, they did feel faster on breakaways and stuff like that. But Socrates still, with the lengthy, felt like he always has, which was like, he has breakaway speed, even despite his 82 pace. So lengthy players didn't change at all. Like, they didn't change, but there was just a buff on the explosive players. So people, for whatever reason, didn't understand that and just continued to just panic sell and panic sell. And if we go to Twitter here, let's look at EA FIFA Direct. They actually tweeted about this because people were just talking about this all day today. We've seen some discussions about a specific dribbling line in the title update number 4 notes and wanted to provide additional clarity surrounding the issue that was addressed. This is the line. In some cases, players could incorrectly slow down when attempting to dribble with the ball. It's the most ambiguous line I've ever heard, and I don't know why they didn't elaborate on that. The dribbling slowdown could have happened at times when sprinting with the ball, and the slowdown most commonly affected players with high dribbling related attributes. AcceleRATE values are unimpacted by this. I don't know what they mean by that, because like explosive players and control players clearly feel faster. Like, it's very obvious to tell that. So I don't know if just this dribbling slowdown happened like every single time, right? It happened every single time people dribble with the ball. Because in that case, then yeah, the AcceleRATE values didn't change, but like, they basically are now just what they've been. So maybe that's what they mean by that. Like, this is what the AcceleRATE values should have felt like from the start, and the dribbling slowdown was just like a glitch of some kind. I don't know. I mean, this is just, it's so ridiculous. It's not the update itself that's ridiculous. Like, I'm glad hopefully they think there's a balance, right? I'm really hoping that explosive players, you can feel the explosiveness there in the short spaces. Control players are the nice in between, and then lengthy players over distance and stuff like that can feel really fast. I want there to be a difference, but just the fact that they released this game, if you don't remember, lengthy players, like lengthy didn't work right away with the Architect Chem style. If you remember right, I remember when I used Socrates, right? I used baby Socrates at the very beginning of the year. And Socrates, with an architect on him, I was like, he does not feel like he has any sort of pace boost whatsoever. I was like, why is that? Because when I used Erling Haaland, who has base lengthy, right? You don't have to put any chem style on him to make him lengthy. He was like, okay, I can definitely tell his card's lengthy. He's insanely fast in game. The only difference was they came out and the chemistry styles never affected the lengthy or the acceleration types, right? So that came out broken, and explosive players and controlled players have been broken this entire time, and they haven't worked. And because of that, the market has just been mudded because of their incompetence, right? I mean, they released, this is one of the like newest features of this entire FIFA, and none of it has worked properly. I mean, and then now we're seeing the ramifications of it on the market, and the market should kind of go back to, you know, a little bit back to normal. Like, we should see a slight boost on the Dembeles, the Vinnies, and Neymar, stuff like that. It should not be the level that we saw it at today. I do expect, like, CR7's already rebounded 100K. That could actually rebound even more over the course of like today. It could. Same with Gold Ronaldo. I mean, Gold Ronaldo's at his minimum, so I'm not actually sure about that. But I expect Van Dijk could probably do fine. Ones to watch, Haaland also got destroyed in price today. I was just watching him getting panic sold today. He's 994 right now. He was 1.2, I want to say, before this happened. Yeah, 1.23, 1.24 right there. And then boom. Below 1 million coins. He's rebounded like 30 or 40K. But yeah, this panic selling, it just wasn't warranted. But that's not going to stop people from seeing a card down in price and just saying, oh shit, I got to sell. That'll just always happen in FIFA, unfortunately. But yeah, so I mean, there's not much more to say about that other than just like, there's nothing more you could have done. If you got screwed over, you got screwed over. If you made coins, you made coins, right? The leaks right now, we don't have like any leaks, right? Like, we literally have no leaks. But I think a part of that is that we have the old team, like a lot of the old team actually leaked. Like, let's look at it here. Irving Lozano's leaked, Pulisic, Walker, Bruno Guimaraes, Carrasco, Nkunku. A lot of these, Milinkovic, Savic, Marco Reus, a lot of these guys have been leaked. That's probably why we're not seeing too many leaks right now. We literally don't have basically any, or any word on what the heck is going to happen here, but no other leaks basically that of anything that could be coming. So let's look at the Path to Glory cards, because obviously these cards are going out of packs Friday. Marquee Matchups is coming today, so we should see a teeny bit of supply in these cards because people are going to want to open Marquee Matchups packs. Like, everybody's going to want to do Marquee Matchups to get these World Cup hero cards. So we should see a slight bit of supply added onto the market today. These cards have just rose up in price, and we've just seen such market like inconsistency because of this whole meta change that it's kind of been unpredictable what cards have risen and what cards have not. But I do think if we see these guys down today at all, I think they'll be fine buys. I would want them to go down a little bit more though. Like Antoine Griezmann, Serge Gnabry, Carvajal, Lukaku, I'd want them to go down a little bit more. But if they do, I'm fine buying. I think they'll be a fine buy because people are going to be ready for the World Cup coming over the weekend. It's not far away now, and these cards get upgraded. Araujo as well, very good cards to probably look at. But I think if the Marvel Heroes drop today, I actually like these guys more, honestly, for investing, because these cards are the most hyped cards in the game. They're the best cards in the game, and I would not be surprised if we see a drop on Mascherano, Carvalho, even the top guys like Rudy Folair. If Aloiran drops a little bit, Dirk Kuyt drops a little bit, Park Ji-sung drops a little bit. If these guys drop a little bit today, I'm totally good with buying, because I do think we're going to see, even despite the fact we're getting a new promo on Friday, which usually means that players kind of tend to not rise up right away after a new promo comes out. I just think these cards are so in demand that it's like, it doesn't really matter as much. Every single person wants one of these guys in their team. They're the best cards in the game, right? I mean, everyone's going to want one of these cards in their team. Let's talk about Fodder, because of course, that's what we want to talk about on this channel. It's going back down right now. 85's like 7. We're going down to 7K. 86 is at 13. We're seeing all of them kind of start dropping, except for the 88s and above, right? They're kind of staying a little bit high because of the SBCs that are out right now. These guys are probably not dropped to the same level that they usually would over the weekend. But yes, I do think over the weekend we will see Fodder go down again, and we'll look to buy it again. I think the lower tier one's going to be really good because obviously, how long is Ribery and Keane out for? Because that'll kind of always drive up the demand a little bit. Robbie Keane's out for 10 more days. Ribery's out for 12 more days. And you also, because people are just going to slowly get these swaps packs, right? People are going to be getting the 84 times 20 packs, so 10 tokens. People are starting to get that. And we've got the 82 times 20 as well, which is only like a few tokens, right? Isn't it like 3 tokens? 3 tokens with 82 times 20. So that's a lot of fodder that people are going to be putting into Keane and Ribery, most likely. And people are probably going to be needing really only the high tier fodder because of the, 88 rated squad here for Ribery. And Robbie Keane has the 89 rated squad and 88 rated squad. So high tier fodder should continue to like just stay up. So that maybe isn't going to be the best investment, comparing it to the lower tier fodder. So I think lower tier fodder, we look over the weekend, is going to be a good buy. 85s are going to be looking really good, I think. They're 7.2K right now, pretty low. They can drop a little bit more though, especially over the weekend. And we just haven't seen much content to make these guys rise recently. We should see it relatively soon in the next week. We should see some kind of gamble pack. We saw the base icon pack this week. I'd not be shocked if we see some sort of gamble pack next week again. Yeah, I think 87s and below probably will end up looking good, but we'll look at that over the weekend. Maybe 88s do drop down to a really good price. But for right now, keep your eye on 87s to 84s, basically. Those kind of look like the best. And my guess is we're going to buy probably over the weekend because these guys should drop even more. And we don't have much leaked content, so we should only see a drop on these from pretty much now until Saturday. So guys, quickly, here is Dungeons and Dragons, like a gameplay guy on Ultimate Team. He's the lead live operations producer for EA FIFA. So I'm not sure if he's for sure a gameplay guy, but I know he's got like a big part in the game, right? So he basically has this big tweet thread here that you can find if you type in Dungeons and Dragons on Twitter. Here's an important tweet. We do not have shadow patches, and we do not try to pull a fast one. We push to ensure we can provide as much transparency and clarity as possible. So basically just talks about how they didn't change anything in terms of the acceleration types themselves. But he says, with all that said, we always appreciate the passion and emotion from the community. I just ask that when things are confusing to ask questions instead of assuming the worst. Much love to y'all. Except the problem here is that people clearly can tell the difference. So I want to know, the Penta says this, appreciate the thread, Joel. I think the biggest issue though lays in the final tweet. When things are confusing and we ask instead of assume, we are met with silence. There's clearly been an issue with dribbling for explosive players. And in spite of you suggesting here that you're trying to give as much detail as you can, the explanation of what happened, how often, and how significant the impact was is about as vague as it can be. That's exactly what I was saying. The game feels like a light switch flipped, and we're led to accept that in some cases, players could incorrectly slow down is all. You didn't really specify what changes were actually made, what players it impacted, or how it made them change in-game, and what significance they had in relation to other AcceleRATE types, which is exactly what I was saying. The whole part of the pitch note is so ambiguous that I think it's unfair to expect people to just accept it and move on. Just my thoughts. So yeah, I think Nep is exactly right here. I don't understand what. I don't necessarily agree that it feels like a light switch flipped on the game, but I do think that controlled and explosive acceleration type players just feel normal again, and it makes a huge difference on the game. And it is weird that they put in the patch notes something so, like, there was like one bullet point in the middle of the entire thing that affected the game so much that like it crashed parts of the market, it rose parts of the market. The game feels a lot different than it did. Here's another tweet as well. Nep's just going off right now. We only know what we feel. The general consensus is explosive players are now considerably more fluid and fast, and in general, fast players are now fast regardless of AcceleRATE. If the only literature on the change is wording such as the slowdown could have happened at times when sprinting, but the fix you've implemented has drastically changed the landscape of the game. It genuinely just becomes hard to understand the change, especially when the patch notes are worded in a way as such. Gameplay made the following changes, addressed the following issues in some cases. Okay, so what did you address? What did you change? How significant was that change? You don't actually state what changes you made, just the issue was there. I mean, he's exactly right. And then Joel did respond and said, like, I'll take this feedback to the team, see if we can provide a similar level of detail that goes into the changes section of the gameplay notes. But he did say they were pretty ambiguous about things. So he is admitting to that, which is good, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't understand how this still happens. So you guys, let me know what you guys think, because like this has just been a whole pretty much disaster. I mean, there's no other way to say it. We saw everybody panic on the market. We saw EA making really ambiguous and vague patch notes that affected the game way more than we thought. The community's not happy about it. There was a tweet here that was like, we always want to make sure we're transparent. We always want to make sure we're keeping a good relationship with the community. And it's like, bro, we still have not heard anything about the hero pack, 25k hero pack that gave half people that opened about 500,000 coins. I appreciate the transparency on that one. Yeah, so it's just been a hell of a last 24 hours on this game. Hopefully you guys didn't lose a shit ton of coins. Hopefully some of you guys actually gained some coins. That would be nice. If you guys had some explosive players in your team. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. I love all of you. Thank you guys for the support every single day on the channel. You have no idea how much it means to me. I'll catch you in the next video very, very soon. Peace.